Michelle from Heartpanorama. Today my guest is my friend Cristina from Spain. Hello, Cristina.
Hi.
And our topic today is TV shows. We'll talk about different aspects. For example, the acting on the TV shows, the dubbing, and also the distributions of TV shows in different countries. So I will just go ahead and start with the first aspect, which is acting, and I will just start with my perception of people's acting on German shows, because that's the kind of show that I mostly see on German television. In my opinion, there are only a few German actors who act well. I have mostly seen crime series or these daily series that are always on TV, which I don't really watch, but you always see them when you turn on the TV. And other than that, on German TV, there is often American TV shows, and I mostly watch those, and I feel like the actors are somehow better than the German actors, but it could be that it's just because I haven't seen the really good series or something. And something I can also talk about is the Filipino series, because I have been watching Filipino series with my mom, and I feel like the actors can display the emotions better, and as a viewer you feel more emotional when you watch these series. I don't know if it's something to do with the culture that people usually show more emotions than in other countries, but I feel like the actors are better there. How about in Spain?
Well, in the case of Spain, I think that the acting is good. It's the same actors, and I just get kind of tired of them because it's good to see some new faces, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Now, a lot of TV shows are starting to air, like Elite or La Casa de Papel or Las Chicas del Cable. Those are so good and the acting is good, but it's only that. And also in these new shows, there are new faces, so it's better for me, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I think that every country has a different way of acting. For example, in Latin America, we have telenovelas. Their actors tend to act more exaggerated, like, oh my god, so much drama.
Okay.
But in spite of that, I think that all Latin American TV shows are like that. I mean, that doesn't mean that all Latin American TV shows are like exaggerated or something, because I have watched some from Argentina, like Casi Ángeles, and the acting was less exaggerated, if I can say. I don't know, like more normal. And also I have seen Korean dramas, and I really like it. The acting is amazing because you can notice that the actors are really focused on the character. They can transmit the feelings for me.
Yeah, I've also watched a few Korean series and also Japanese, but it's been over a year, so I can't remember properly, but I think also that they somehow focused more on the character they're playing, and I don't know, they could show the emotions better. They were more believable characters. When I see German series, for example, you can see that they're just acting. Also, like you said, there are also a lot of series that have the same actors, and I think there are also a very few actors that are really good and that are also seen a lot on television. It's like when I turn on the TV and randomly there's a series and I'm like, okay, there's at least one actor that I recognize. So it's the same in German TV as well. But I think it's also the same in American series, because that's also the kind of series that I watch most of the time, and I always find it funny when I recognize an actor from another series in the series I'm watching.
Yeah.
And it's kind of somehow like a crossover of the different series, but they're just the same actors but not the same characters.
Yeah, it happens the same to me because, for example, I start to like an actor and I'm like, okay, I'm going to see every single TV show that he's in it. So I'm watching all of them, even though they are bad. I don't know, I'm gonna see it. Movies, TV shows, I'm gonna watch it.
But that's dedication.
Also in the Korean dramas, if they are focused on comedy, they really make you laugh. But if they are focused on, I don't know, drama, they make you cry. So I think they can really transmit the feelings. So I think that's why it's so good. I think
it's similar in the Philippines, and I also recently talked to my parents about it. My mother, of course, is always for the Filipino series because she's like, yeah, we're a very emotional culture and we can display the feelings much better than the Europeans. And my father also was like, yeah, it's normal for them because in their cultures they're somehow more open to showing feelings. I think that's the main difference because, for example, in Germany, my perception of people is that they're not as open as other cultures or not as open as Asians, for example. I think that's the main aspect why either Japanese or Korean or Filipino series have actors that transmit these feelings better.
Yeah, I think it is very different in every country. They have their own way. They have steps that they have to follow. They do it the way they were taught.
Maybe if a German actor went to Spain for for their education, then maybe they would also act differently. Speaking of emotions, let us just continue with the second aspect that we have on our agenda, which is the quality of dubbing in TV shows. And I think we should both include live action and animated TV shows because they're both dubbed. For example, the American series are obviously dubbed in German over here. And
I've only seen the Spanish dubbing in TV shows and movies, so I can only talk about that one.
Yeah, I think in the movies, the dubbing process is pretty much the same like in dubbing TV shows. What I've thought about dubbing of live action series is that at least the German dubbing of American series is actually pretty good as far as the shows I'm watching are concerned. But of course, when it's on TV, I only can watch it in German. But whenever I have the choice between watching in German or in the original language, like on Netflix or Amazon Prime, I still prefer watching the original dub. So how about you?
I think that in Spain, some TV shows, the dubbing is good, but some others are not because I think they don't fit with the character or the translation is wrong. Or maybe it's me because I've seen the TV show in original before and I'm used to the original. So when I hear it with other voices, it's weird for me.
Yeah, I feel the same about the different voices. For example, when I start a series that I've discovered on Netflix or something, then of course, I watch it in English when it's from the United States or when it's from England. Then I watch it in its original language, but then they don't have the newest season, for example, because it hasn't come out yet. And then when it comes on TV, I can only watch it in German. For example, it's like that with iZombie. I first watched the first seasons on German TV, but then kind of missed the third season, and then I caught up with a series on Netflix and watched it in the original version. And now I'm watching the fourth season in German on TV again. And you do have to switch between languages and have to adjust to the different voices, because it's somehow like a different character, even though it's the same character, but it has another voice. It's somehow weird.
Yeah, it happened to me sometimes. That, for example, I was watching Teen Wolf and in the original way, but one day I'm on the TV and I don't know what to see. I find Teen Wolf and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna watch Teen Wolf again, and it's in Spanish. I'm like, what are they talking about? Who are these voices?
Yeah, I think I'm not as confused with animated shows like I am in live action shows when there's a dub in my language, because I know that people are dubbing different characters in that case. I know that they need the same voice actors that dub different TV series that are animated, because the animated characters don't have their own voice. So for me, in my mind, it's not as confusing as when I watch a live action show with an actor that is actually a human being and who has a different voice. I'm not sure if there are a lot of German voice actors that do dubbing for both live action and animated shows. I haven't watched that many animated shows in German recently, except for Miraculous and Sailor Moon Crystal, which I bought the DVDs of last year. And I don't know if it's just my perception, but I feel like the voice actors for the animated shows are a bit better than the voice actors for live action shows. And I'm not sure how many voice actors in Germany dub both animated and live action shows, but I just feel like the quality of the dubbing or the voice acting is better in the case of animation or animated shows. How about you?
I think that in Spain, all dubbing actors can do animated shows and live actions. Not just Sergio Zamora, but also Laura Pastor. She dubs Ladybug, but also she has dubbed Hermione in Harry Potter.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
She, yeah. Yeah.
Fun fact, I just learned something new.
Yeah, she did that. Also, Violetta in The Incredibles and a lot of animated movies.
I actually know a lot of cartoons, but I haven't watched most of them since I was little. Whenever I see them again, I maybe like it just because I'm nostalgic.
Recently, I've seen a Bratz movie. You know Bratz?
Yes. Oh, I didn't know they have a movie, though.
Yeah, they have a lot of movies. So I've seen one, but it wasn't with the Spanish from Spain dub. So I've seen it from the Latin American dub. And it was so weird for me. But I don't want to disrespect the Latin American dub, okay?
It's funny that you mention the difference between those dubs, because I only learned it from you and the other friends of ours from Latin America, that you actually have different dubs for the same series. I think until last year or until 2 years ago, I always thought they only dubbed Spanish once and then they distributed to Latin America as well, just like they do with the English versions. Like, it doesn't matter if it's British English or Australian English or something. You don't have to dub it for the Americans. For example, they haven't dubbed Harry Potter for the American market, and also they don't have to dub American series or movies for the British people. So I always thought that with a Spanish dub, it's the same. So I was really surprised when I learned that you actually have different versions.
Yeah, that's because we have different expressions.
Mm-hmm.
Like in Spain, one thing can have a meaning,
Mm-hmm.
but in Latin America, it has another meaning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can understand each other, but in that particular case, it's very difficult. And also, we have different accent. You know, it's different in many aspects.
Yeah.
For example, the Coco movie, that movie was distributed in Spain with the Latin American dubbing because the movie is focused on Mexico, so it was normal to have the Latin American dubbing.
Okay, so it depends on the context.
Yeah,
yeah. But since you already started talking about distribution, let's just move on to that. So about the distribution, I think a lot of US Americans won't understand our point of view because we're in countries where we also watch the American series, for example, but we have to wait for our own language version to be showed on TV. For example, with The Flash, they're airing it in the US in the fall or something, and then I will have to wait half a year or even longer until it comes on TV in Germany. I don't know if it's only to do with the dub, but I think it also has to do with the licensing. But it's really hard to keep up with, for example, other people in different countries who have already watched the series, and I have to wait because I can't watch it on German TV yet because it's not airing yet. And if I want to watch it online, for example, on Amazon Prime, then it's really expensive. I think if you want to watch a season in its original dub and it's already been released in the US, for example, and you still have to pay maybe 30 euros or so you can watch the version. And when I see that price, I think, okay, I would rather wait half a year to see it for free on TV instead of paying that much to see it now.
Pay.
Yeah.
I will pay, to be honest.
Really?
Yes.
I think if I really want to see it, then I might also pay for it. But if I know that it's airing in half a year, and I'm so used to waiting for new seasons on German television, then I'll just wait.
It happened the same in Spain with The Flash, and I know that they are in season 5, I think. Recently, I've seen the promo on TV for season 4, and I'm like, really?
I think they only recently finished season 4 in Germany, like a month ago or so.
Yeah.
So I watched that one, and now I have to wait half a year for the next one.
I look for online resources to watch it in original because my body can't wait. Can't wait for a single episode.
I thought Germany was very slow with releasing its dub, but it's interesting to see that in Spain you have to wait just as long or even longer.
Yeah, I think when it comes to superhero TV shows, we have to wait a lot. I don't know what's happening in Spain with superheroes.
I don't know. I think it really has to do with licensing because, at least I think it's a very popular genre in these past years. And for example, it could be that different TV broadcasters want to air that show, and the ones who are selling it have to decide who they're selling it to, and then they have to plan it and so on. Maybe, I'm not pretty sure, but I think when I once wrote an assignment for uni, I read about the planning of TV broadcasters, and they have to know in November or so what they're airing the whole year. And maybe it could be that in the US, for example, when they air the new season in October, November, then they're kind of too late for the new TV season in Germany. But I'm not sure if that's completely true.
I think that nowadays, thanks to Netflix, HBO, and online resources, we can watch any TV show sooner than a couple years ago.
Yes.
For example, like in Spain, once an episode was aired in English, it was immediately dubbed in Spanish.
Hmm.
For example, The Big Bang Theory, or right now with the new show of Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
Yeah, I started that yesterday.
Me too. I'm
I think
on
it's
episode.
a worldwide release, right?
Yeah.
Like everyone got it on the same date. I think it's
Yeah.
fair. Like they can just
Thank you.
prepare it before they release it. They can prepare it in different languages and then release it in every country.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
also, I think with Riverdale, they air it on Wednesdays in America, and then in Germany we get it on Thursdays, right the day after it.
I think it happens the same in Spain with Riverdale,
Hmm.
but with Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, it has premiered and it has all the dubs, like you said, and anyone can watch it.
But I think streaming has both up and downsides. For example, with the series that are released at once, for example, you can watch 12 episodes right
Oh yeah,
at
yeah,
this on the same day, for example.
yeah.
You don't have to wait for the next episode, but on the other hand, if it has tons of episodes and you always want to continue watching, then you cannot stop anymore. If you don't have a lot of discipline, then it could be dangerous.
I try to watch Chilling Adventures with more patience
Hmm.
because if I don't have patience, I would watch it in one day. And then I will I have to wait a whole year for season 2 right now. Why?
Mm.
Why? Sometimes I hate it, but other times I love it. I'm in the middle of two, 50-50.
Yeah, me too. But I think in general, it's good that we now have online streaming services where we can be more flexible. We don't have to always sit in front of the TV at that exact time and watch the episode or the new show that we want to watch. And if we are too late, we miss something. But I don't know how often you do that. But for example, when I know a show on TV that I enjoy watching, that I'm always trying to sit in front of the TV. But if I miss it, then I'm glad that it's still on the TV broadcaster's online site, so I can catch up on it.
Yeah. Also, another good point is that you don't have adverts in Netflix and these resources because, for example, in my case in Spain, I start to watch a show in, I don't know, at 10 p.m., for example, but with the adverts, you finish the episode at 3 p.m. And I'm like, no, not 3 p.m., 3 a.m. Sorry. There is a lot of adverts and it's like, I'm getting tired. I have to wake up at 6 in the morning, so it's not good. I don't like adverts.
Yeah, they make the show somehow longer because a show that is 40 minutes long per episode somehow lasts a whole hour just because of the advertising.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people are going to these resources to watch the shows whenever they want.
Yeah.
Not just waiting for the TV to air.
Yeah, that's also the reason why I prefer the streaming services for watching TV shows. But when there's a show that is not online yet, then I just watch it on TV because that's the fastest way I can watch the episode, because otherwise I will have to wait until it comes on Netflix. But yeah, everything has its downsides and upsides. I think both are valid ways to watch TV shows. Do you have anything to add? Because I think we pretty much covered everything.
There is this TV show from Norway, which is called Skam, S-K-A-M. This show wasn't aired in TV worldwide, so it was only in Norway, but a lot of people around the world watch it with subtitles, of course, but these subtitles were made by fans of this show because it was so popular and everybody loved it. It was so popular that many countries nowadays are doing their own versions of that show in Italy, Spain, France, Germany, and the Netherlands. And I think it will be in the US too. But I think that even though some TV channels doesn't air the show, the social media have helped to create this new show.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So I think it's amazing.
Do you mean that they will do their own dub in the different countries, or will they create a new version of it in the country?
They are creating the new version.
Ah, okay.
For example, in Spain, we have Spanish actors, Spanish production, everything is Spanish.
Ah, okay, and that's interesting.
The background is also in Madrid. It's amazing because even though it's the same show as the Norway, they are adding our culture to this show.
It's adjusted to the culture where they produce it. I think that's interesting because I recently saw that there is a new movie in the Philippines which is called Miss Granny, and it's actually on the basis of a Korean movie in 2014, and they did the same movie in Japan, in China, in Indonesia. I think it's the same story with the same characters, but in different countries, and each country has their own actors.
When a show is popular, it opens doors to other countries to make the same show, but their own version. Oh my God.
I think producers are always contemplating if it's better to do an own version or if they just should dub the same series.
I don't know what will be better, to be honest, because I really like the originals. And when they do their versions, I'm like, what is this? There is something missing there.
Yeah, I think you have your expectations of how it should be, and if it's not the same like in the original, then maybe you're disappointed, or maybe it's just different because it's a different culture. I think that's it for now. We talked a lot about TV shows.
You have to watch Scam, but the original Scam. Please do.
I will look it up then. Thank you, Cristina, for joining my podcast today. It was a very, very interesting conversation. I wish we had more time to elaborate on this.
It was cool. I really like it to be here. So thank you for inviting me.
Of course, you're welcome. And to all the listeners, thank you for listening until here. And if you have any suggestions or any thoughts concerning this podcast or in this topic specifically, for example, feel free to comment. We're always happy to have some feedback. That's it for now. So goodbye and talk to you soon.
Bye.